Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dreamhack Winter 2013. Golden Boy alongside Benson here. So sorry for the delay. First and foremost, brothers gotta eat, and that's why eyeballers, they had to get their grub on, you know. So they, we gave them that opportunity to step away and eat because they've been playing a lot.
Yeah,
so,
they played back to back.
Yeah, they did play back to back. So figured it'd only be right. They did that, and now we're waiting on some server stuff to actually get adjusted. But while we wait, we did deduce an interesting situation that will potentially happen.
I think it's about 90% it's going to happen.
I don't want to say 90%, Ben. I want to say that we're going to live in a perfect world where everything is going to work amazing.
So basically what Alex is referring to right now is, for any of you guys that have seen the bracket, you may have been able to deduct something interesting could happen. The way it stands right now, we have Eyeballers sitting in #1 place. They have 2 wins. That's pretty much as simple as that. Epsilon 1 win, MYM 1 win, XTS 0 wins. Now, what we realized was we actually have a potential for a 3-way tie for first place. If Epsilon beat XTS, that's going to give them 2 wins. And if MYM manage to beat Eyeballers, they're also going to have 2 wins as well. So the top 3 teams will all have 2 wins, which is kind of annoying. And they'll all have played against each other, and they will all have won. So there's no correct way of really deducing who goes through. So they would actually have to play a best-of-1 tiebreaker. So that's another extra 3 games. Unsure whether that would be played tonight or tomorrow morning. We're still trying to talk to our admin on that. But then it gets even more interesting. The guys at Fnatic, they were sat there and they were watching Epsilon play, and they were like, oh my god, the 3-way tie is going to happen. We were like, yeah, we figured it out. And they went, well, actually, no. XTS are now 1 map up against Epsilon. And we were like, oh, it can't happen, it can't happen. Actually, it can. There's another possibility for a 3-way tiebreaker, which is actually the bottom 3 teams all having won 1 map. So in the event of Eyeballers actually beating MYM, then that's going to leave MYM with 1 map. If Epsilon lose to XTS, they'll both have 1 map each as well. So the bottom 3 will all have 1 map, and there's going to be a tiebreaker in that way. So 2 different opportunities.
Or if MYM beats Eyeballers, MYM goes in guaranteed. So basically, this matchup here between MYM and Eyeballers that'll be coming up in a little bit, yeah, this is going to determine
everything.
Yeah, everything.
Life.
Your life.
Everything.
What is life? MYM versus Eyeballers. That's life.
That's the answer. So get tweeted out, because this next game is going to be crazy. Now, in a perfect world, then it's going to be Eyeballers. If Eyeballers win this map, Eyeballers go through simple as. Now, Epsilon in that case would need to win that map for them to go through. XTS, there's no guarantee they can go through. So if XTS win, that just keeps giving them hope, I guess you could say. But Epsilon are currently 1-0 down. It is worth mentioning that. Now, if MYM win and XTS win, then that would be Eyeballers and MYM going through.
So, as you guys can obviously tell,
we've been busy. We've
been busy trying to figure this one out here. So there is a possibility that we will see Epsilon not make it and MYM and Eyeballers make it.
Yeah.
Or, no, actually, if Eyeballers defeat...
You're still trying to get your head around this, aren't you?
Oh, no. MYM and Eyeballers will definitely make it, because if MYM beats Eyeballers, then MYM would make it guaranteed.
No, not necessarily.
Yes.
No, MYM and Eyeballers can't both guarantee make it.
Yes, yes, because Eyeballers beat Epsilon. So because Eyeballers
Epsilon beat MYM.
Yeah, but MYM will be up 2 in the pool. No?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, they will be 2 up in the pool, man.
Say that again. Say that again.
They'll have 2 rounds 1 in the pool if MYM beats Eyeballers.
Yeah, but then it all depends on what goes on in the Epsilon game.
Yes, if Epsilon loses to XTS, which right now is apparently what's life.
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying.
You see, like, come on, man. Like, you know, it's freaking...
Anyway, I'm curious to know what you guys at home are
Actually, we ended up getting the result here, so it seems like one of the games is over. Who won the game? Who won the game? That game over there, Daniel. Who won the game? They haven't finished yet.
Who's winning right now?
165 to nothing in the first round, in the first map.
Okay, so... Oh, they haven't even played the second... What? Okay, so the XTS right now has a 165-point lead over Epsilon, yet they have not played the second side.
All right.
They have? They haven't. See now Zinto is just trolling us.
He's trolling us now.
But they haven't played the second side.
All right.
Okay. We have not. We do not know, because we're here. We're here. Okay, and you're there.
Oh, my God.
You know, Zinto, he's just, you know, man, sometimes. Cash Money Gang. What will happen, Zinto? Zinto says shout out to all the haters. There you go.
All them haters, yeah.
All right, well, guys, coming up next, we are going to have Eyeballers facing up against the boys over in, I believe that is MYM. Let's first talk about MYM, a team that I think, obviously has a lot of potential. We saw a lot of that earlier. MYM, a very talented team. On the other side, though, Eyeballers, as you can see them all prepping themselves up, which, by the way, is like really freaking cool by the production team here at KSTV.
I suggested this.
I suggested it.
No, you did not suggest this. We were stood there with the guys from KSTV, and I said, I've always wondered, why with the green screen images are they never moving? And they were like, that's a good point. We'll make it happen. Hours later, they did that.
No, and I told them, I definitely think you should make it happen. And then they were like, Golden Boy, you're right. And that's exactly what happened. So we're waiting on this one to go. So just to give you guys a heads up,
I hate you.
In the East Coast right now, it's 3:27 p.m., still daylight in New York City, Out here in Sweden, though, on the other hand, it is about to be 10 o'clock. So it's going to be 9:27.
And we may have more games as well. This may not even be the last game.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure my voice is dead.
We will. Innovate of a three-way tiebreaker.
I want kebab. Okay.
All right, he says kebab. Guys in the chat, it's kebab, right? It's not kebab.
That's like saying tomato.
Well, it's my language.
What's your language? How do you say tomato?
English.
Tomato.
You confused me with your mind game.
Yes.
It's tomato.
No, it is tomato.
It's tomato.
It is tomato. We win. I speak American.
Crazy
he
mind games.
English.
You and your crazy mind games. Go away. Leave me alone.
All right. So, of course, guys, we're at Dreamhack. We're having a good time. It's always fun. And, I mean, look at that. That site just always blows my mind away. Always blows my mind away. It's crazy to, walk through the middle there. There are people sleeping.
There actually are people sleeping.
There are people just, just eating dinner. Everyone has pasta and stuff like that here, which is pretty cool.
And kebab.
Kebab. That's how you're going to say kebab.
Oh, dear me. But, yeah, as I was going to say, guys, I am really curious to know who you guys think is going to potentially make it out of this group. So do tweet as mine is at Benson_EU, obviously Golden Boy at Golden Boy FTW. Let us know your prediction. Who can you see coming out of this bracket? Because right now it is literally anybody's guess, depending on what happens with the Epsilon game as well. I mean, that's huge. If Epsilon lose to XTS, I don't think anyone could call that. You're just there. He just wants food, man. You just want food.
I mean, Swedish food is really good.
It actually is.
So I don't see what's wrong with that, honestly. You gotta stop that. But a lot of people are saying III is going to take it. We have a new server up apparently, so we're actually going to go ahead and get there. And let's see. All right, great. Well, we're going to get that sorted in just a little bit, guys. Of course, we're having fun here, filling time for you all, so you're not just seeing a black screen. But we are going to get the servers all sorted up and ready to go. And I think we have the server info, so we're actually going to go. We just got the handy-dandy
pretty handy
notepad there. So we're going to get the server info all lined up, ready for you guys. Match is about to begin, so we're going to jump to a quick 10-15 second break. And when we come back, we're going to have MYM going up against Eyeballers. It's going to be a treat, guys, and you're not going to want to miss it. See you on the other side. Welcome back, everyone, to Dreamhack Winter 2013. Golden Boy alongside Benson here, and we have Eyeballers as well as MYM facing off for one of the last, what could potentially be one of the last matches that we're going to be broadcasting here. Good matchup, very, very good matchup between two very talented teams. Looking forward to seeing what MYM is going to be bringing to the table. Of course, they faced off early in the day against Epsilon, where they met up with, you know, I would say the wall that was Epsilon. Very, very talented team.
Yep.
But then it kind of just like broke down around them. Epsilon, you know, that matchup against Eyeballers did not pan well for them. You know, the crashes obviously is something you got to highlight there. But now MYM, with that victory over XTS, they gained that confidence back up. And you know what? There are a lot of people here that are saying MYM could very well beat Eyeballers. But on the other side, Eyeballers, they've just been on a roll, and there's a very high chance they end up going 3-0 in their pool.
Yeah, completely agree. Couldn't have put it better myself. Although, as we explained just before we went for that quick commercial break, two different possibilities of a three-way tie, a possibility for a two-way tie.
Yeah.
This just shows you the level of competition here, you know, how close this group has actually been. I mean, yesterday it was pretty much
insane.
It was the Fnatic story, I think it's fair to say.
But you did have AA and Dignitas, actually, that there was a possibility that could have happened, you know, but I do agree with you. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, this group has just been so close. It really has. I mean, XTS have really struggled a little bit. Got 2-0'd by MYM and 2-0'd by Epsilon, but sorry, not Epsilon, by Eyeballers, but now they're going up against Epsilon, and they have, what was it, 162
ticket lead is what Metro said.
How does that happen?
Of course, he was hanging out on the side here. Just
how does that happen, though? 162 lead against Epsilon.
I don't know. That's
the biggest
and
lead
here's
so
the thing,
far.
it's like XTS, they have not been performing nearly as well as we would have hoped for them to perform in this, you know, in this Dreamhack competition. But I mean, they are the little engine that could. I mean, they're going to create problems down there in the bracket. They're still going to play their game no matter what, and they're going to cause problems for the other team. That I respect, because you don't see that all the time, right? A lot of teams, especially in competitive gaming, kind of give up after a while.
Well, they can still go through.
Can they?
Yeah.
I don't think XCX can still go through.
Yeah.
They ended up losing to both Eyeballers and MYM.
Yeah, but if they beat Epsilon, that's a potential three-way tie.
Oh, yeah, and then we have the three-way tie.
Exactly. So technically they still...
And we just got word that XTS just won the first game against Epsilon, which is going on the other side there. And we're waiting for the server to get hooked up for this game. 162 tickets. So they ended up winning by 162 tickets. So they ended up winning the game again.
No, just
the first round.
Yeah,
okay,
so they're still waiting to play. I think
they're still waiting?
Some stuff going on with the servers right now, which is what's causing the delay. With the Fnatic boys, they're all watching as well. Yeah. That's always good to see. You know, Fnatic, they didn't really need to come today, but they came down and supporting some BF4. So it's good. Yeah,
it's always a good thing. Of course, guys, I'm really sorry about the delay. Obviously, in my perfect world, in Ben's and the production's perfect world, this would not be the case.
Oh, of course.
Unfortunately, these are things that are obviously out of our control. You know, we need to be able to get the server lined up and ready to go. So I don't know what the science is behind that. Hopefully it's taken care of yet again. But yeah, we're really, really sorry about the delays. And just wanted to say, you know, while we all are having fun, laughing, and enjoying ourselves here in Sweden, because it's Sweden and you got to have fun. At the end of the day, we want to make sure we're bringing you guys the best Battlefield 4 competition possible. So again, super sorry about that. All jokes aside. So in any case, though, Ben, I got to ask you, I mean, you know, if you had to pick a team to take it, we have Eyeballers and MYM. Who are you going with?
Today's just been crazy. It's like, for example, you know, if XTS managed to beat Epsilon, I mean, I don't think anyone saw that coming. If XTS beat Epsilon, I don't think anybody...
XTS beating Epsilon.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would see that happening in 1,000 years. That's just... That would be a huge upset. But then, you know, I kind of want to see a three-way tie. I'm not going to lie. I think a three-way tie would be pretty cool. I'm just saying, for the people at home watching... It makes for the storylines. You know
it does, and it makes it for some awesome games, obviously. I personally think, with the way Eyeballers have been playing, and the way that they took it to MYM, or the way that they took it to Epsilon, granted, again, yes, we understand the crashes and whatnot, still, you cannot take away from Eyeballers that they dominated that game, and they're feeling confident. Yeah. I think Eyeballers can very well come out in 3-0 this pool.
Really?
So I think that they could 3-0 this pool, just like Fnatic did. You know, we saw it in the XTS games. We saw shades of what Fnatic had done in that last matchup. We saw that. We saw that with Eyeballers when they faced off against XTS. That's how Fnatic was looking at the second day. You know,
True.
I think we kind of have a very similar situation here between you know, Fnatic and Eyeballers. Of course, though, like you said, Ben, today's been crazy. So
I kind of feel like anything could happen at this point. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw some crazy stuff right at the very end. But whatever is the case, just, you know, hold on tight at home, because I think it's definitely going to be a close game, that's for sure. And apparently we have is everybody in the game yet?
We are missing one member of Eyeballers right now, and then we'll be able to get this one started. Really sorry, guys. Again, waiting on the server to get reset and everything like that, but that should be coming up in just a bit. So, you know, I guess when you break it down, what is going to be the difference here? And it seems like we are getting a server reset, which is awesome. So when you break it down, what is going to be that telling factor between these two teams? You have Eyeballers that they play a little bit more of a position-based game, but they're also very aggressive as well. You know, and they kind of play like the way AA really did yesterday, where they just sent multiple units and multiple soldiers one area, you know, sending 3 guys, bum rushing 1 flag. While on the other side, you have MYM that they do a pretty stellar job of just positioning themselves, and, you know, and while Eyeballers play aggressive, again, neither of these two teams are like high, you know, kill scoring teams, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Which I think is interesting. So this is going to be a battle of who can outposition the other team.
Very much so. It's a battle of placement. Who can get that team set up in the correct places, and whoever can get that is going to have the best chance of winning this game. That's definitely for sure, because as you said, neither of these two teams have been renowned for top slaying. You know, their slayers are good, but, you know, you look at the likes of Fnatic, you look at the likes of Epsilon at times, you know, their slayers can just do the work when they need to.
True.
So, you know, it's going to be close, that's for sure.
Yep, that's right. And it seems like we have the players. They should be ready to go here in a little bit. Of course, we're going to be playing on Operation Locker, which is one of my favorite maps. We keep on saying it because it's awesome. Of course, Operation Locker, one of the more popular maps in Battlefield 4. For domination, I know I enjoy very much. A site in the Infirmary, B site over in the cells, and C site by the helipad. And I think all the players are ready to go, actually. I think we're missing someone. But make sure you guys vote for your favorite team. Seems like we got a server reset, so that should be happening in just a little bit here. Make sure you guys use !I and !MYM to vote for the team that you think is going to come out on top. And right now,
wow, that's a
Eyeballers
huge lead for Eyeballers.
Have quite the fans.
67%.
That's pretty awesome. Let's see if everyone's in the game.
Pretty big.
I think need them to join the Bravo squad or all the Alpha squad. There you go. You know, be different.
Everyone just wants to be different.
Yeah, well, there you go. So everyone seems to be joining different squads here. Everyone wants to be on the Bravo squad, but we are about to get this one going in a little bit. As you can see, this is going to be, ended up bumping into something there. Going to be the C flag here. A very equal map, honestly, between these two teams as the break-off is about to begin. Look for a lot of action to be going down here by the helipad as we now hop in. The match is going to start. Where are these players going to go? Here goes the break. All right, here we go. We're back into the action now. It's going to be MYM going up against Eyeballers. Eyeballers going to secure A right away. B is going to go immediately over as Safe is going to hang out over there. Now we're going to jump over to Scar, putting down some shots, able to find one player. But Scar and company, they're going to push on forward, make their way over to the B bomb site, perhaps with a great connection there, taking out Wafi.
So surprised Eyeballers didn't actually push that C flag straight off the bat. They kind of rested on their laurels with their A point. I mean, we've seen so far throughout the couple of days of the tournament, you know, that C-A combination is so lethal. You know, you can get that spawn trap on at B, but Eyeballers, they've decided they want to push that flag, and it looks like they're going to settle with A and B, and that's something we saw earlier on today with the spawn trap outside of the map. It was amazing play, and there was a huge deficit straight off the bat.
Yeah, that's right, and now we have Scar who's dropping down, and I think he is going to be able to pick up one of his teammates there. No, there was actually no one there. It was one of his teammates ended up going on the respawn. So Scar's going to be able to win. I believe that's going to be B there for his teammates. Finding Flax all the way in the back. Now, if you take a look here at the overhead, you can see what's going on here. So Flax is giving his teammates a great spawn right back here because they're going to just be able to continue to push on and take B. Granted, though, they are getting trip capped here, which is not ideal.
They are pinned right in the back, and it's down to Wafi to try and make some plays for MYM. He's currently in a gunfight, and it's going to be Gulse, I believe, from there. iMakers just needs to try and get out of there. I think he is going to be able to do so, but that CA combination now, it's going to be lethal. You know, that spawn trap at B is deadly when it gets implemented properly.
Yeah, man. When you're able to hold them off and keep them and pinned in the back there, I mean, even then you can have them, you know, spawn out. If you get A and B, you can force them to spawn out over by the snow, and then they just stay by the hill. And even then, it's kind of difficult to come out, because remember, too, as you come out from that snow area, that's an intense light that's going to be changing. So you kind of lose a little bit of vision making your way into the actual cell itself. There's going to be a player right in front of him. It's going to be Killsit as Ducky Chan able to close that one out. Good stop from him. 183 to 163 is MYM. Currently down by about 20 tickets here, but they are answering back and getting A.
This is a nice play coming from them right now. 161 to 182.
Come up big with this when he can res his teammates.
Is he going to be able to get the pick? No, he's not. He does get dropped, but it is going to be Eyeballers who do have that very fragile lead right now. And obviously, if they do win this map, or sorry, do win this series, they are going to go 3-0 in the group. And, you know, that Reddit thread will be looking very true. You know, everyone's saying how Eyeballers could potentially come out on top of the tournament. They're definitely playing like it.
Hey, I mean, you know, it's so close though, Benson, honestly. It's very hard to make a call here at this start. But you are right though. I mean, you know, Eyeballers have certainly turned some heads and have gotten the attention of quite a few of the fans there on Reddit. I like, you know, like we were talking about earlier. But now there goes the helipad flag, as that would be Zanks actually guarding it there. Wafi is going to get picked off now, and looking over at Flax. What is he going to do? He's actually just going to be playing back here, not getting too aggressive, just giving his teammates a good spawn. They're just trying to work by A. Yeah.
It always seems whenever MYM are in that situation, whenever they have that one flag and they need to play defense, it's always Flax, which is alive, and he's always the guy trying to give his teammates spawn. I mean, he's 6-2 right now, and it shows you he's able to get those kills when it matters, but he's staying alive for his team, and that's going to be crucial. But what MYM need to do is they need to push for some more flags, because right now, Eyeballers, they're saying, all right, we'll spawn Jabby at B. That's no big deal. They have A and C.
Open.
It's easy for them right now.
C is open, though, and it seems like MYM is going to move in. Hopping on board with Safe here. He's going to find one player in front of him. He's going to go for the shots, and he's able to close that one out. Big kill there. That was going to be Klisset. Now there's going to be one more player there for Eyeballers in the vicinity. Let's see what Safe is going to do. He's just jumping around back and forth. Haven't quite gotten the eyes on him just yet. Teammates should be calling him out, but Eyeballers losing B, or losing C. Now they're going to be on the bleed as they're trying to respond back. There goes that one player, that red Dorito. And he's going to find him. He's going to get taken out. That was going to be Klisset again, who he ended up not taking out the guy who was lingering around there. Actually, it was Klisset who got his revenge. But it seems like C going back over to Eyeballers as they're going to respond. Now, if you are MYM, I think push over to A and get this control, because no one's in here to contest.
That's exactly what Ducky Chan is doing. He's made his way in towards A, has the support of a teammate punch rule. Meanwhile, that C flag is being really well defended by MYM at this point, so this could actually be a trip cap going on. It's going to be Klisset, I believe, over on that C flag, trying to cause a little bit of mischief for Eyeballers, but it looks like Safe, he's going to be able to do the dirty work on that C flag. Surely he managed to pick up that kill, and that Golden Boy is going to be the trip cap.
Oh my goodness, and it seems like MYM is looking phenomenal here. If we take a look at the overhead, B was contested but stopped right away. There is going to be Ducky Chan here finding one. He is going to get taken out, hopping over to Punch Rule now. He's going to find one player inside of the infirmary. That's not going to do anything for him there. By the isolation cells, you can see Wafi waiting, seeing if anyone's going to challenge. He has Jaeger Daniel. He's going to have to take his seat. Now the game's getting very uncomfortably close here, Benson, between these two teams.
That's definitely one way of saying it. 120 to 132. Two flags in favor of MYM. Of course, that's going to be Bravo and Charlie. And you can see the way Eyeballers, they've got that spawn, and they've decided they want to rotate outside towards C. There's only going to be one player. It's going to be Ducky Chan, who needs to go big for MYM. If he's going to have any chance, he needs to deflect a little bit of pressure.
Ooh.
Has some teammates spawning on him, I believe, any second now.
He's eating grenades, though, man. I mean, obviously, he has to be telling his teammates, like, hey, guys, don't spawn on me. This is bad territory. Ducky Chan is going to get taken out and cleaned up. Punch Rule, Wafi is going to get taken out as well, jumping over to Punch Rule here. And it seems he's going to find one player in front, but that's not going to do anything with that. That was actually Zanks, as Ducky Chan and Flaxstream, the last two left alive here, giving their teammates some advantageous spawns. Let's see if they're going to be able to do anything about this. This game's super important, because not only do you set the tone for the rest of the series here, whoever takes this first game, because they're always going to have that loss lingering in the back of the mind of the other player or the other team, but also it just gets you, you know, it just makes you feel that much more comfortable.
No, I completely agree. And that first win in that first half really does sort of give you a little bit of comfort. But right now, it's going to be Eyeballers with the C and A flag advantage, trying to set up that spawn trap, which we've seen all week long, just leaving them at that B flag, letting them have it. And, you know, MYM, they're trying to break out the B flag, but they're not really being allowed to do so, and that's just due to the great positioning of Eyeballers. I mean, they really have got great positioning all around the A flag and also the C flag, but it looks like Flax, he's going to be the player that's going to try and make the move on the C flag for MYM.
Oh, but look here, we have Safe, as a matter of fact. He's going to be going up against a couple of members of this team here.
He should be dead.
I know, he's not. He's not dead.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he gets taken out from the side. Good call, good call. But that is going to cause enough of a ruckus there to give them C and B, thus forcing them to spawn in this area here. So let's see how, back by the back A area, let's see how MYM's going to be able to respond. Although they currently are going to be fighting off the back foot here. Granted, they do have the 2 flags that could give them that opportunity to come back into this game.
That's all they need. They just need to hold down these 2 flags for as long as possible, but they are losing B and they're also losing C. Seems someone was able to go. I think that was Waffy went big on the B flag, but C flag is still being taken. It's going to be kill set for Eyeballers, who is going to grab that flag, and that's going to be uncontested. He's going to jump on that, and now it's going to be MYM on the back foot once again with 2 flags now.
This has been such a close game, Ben.
It has.
Insane. I mean, this is it right here. This is both of these teams' tournament life on the line.
Pretty much.
You know, I mean, they could stay in, go compete for that 100,000 SEK prize pool at the Dream Arena tomorrow. This is it for them.
Or they could go home and pack the bags.
Or they can go home and pack their bags over at the Scandic Hotel, you know? I mean, either or. But I
know which one I'd rather have.
But I think, yeah, I know which one. I'd really just want to go to the hotel. In all seriousness, though, looking at this game, the way that it has been boiling down here, it seems like MYM keeping it relatively close. Remember, guys, going into that second half, you get that point lead, but if you keep that point lead so marginal like it is right here, honestly, it's still anyone's match.
Yeah, it's still a factor, but it isn't as big as a factor as, you know, someone going in with a 100-point lead. I mean, right now, it could still be a relatively high lead, but you have to give credit to MYM. They are just trying to stay in this right now. B is going to go in favor of Eyeballers. So is that A flag. C flag is just going to be where MYM are going to be spawning outside. So a bit of pressure now falling on MYM. They do not want to allow Eyeballers to go in with this much of a lead.
And Zanks is going to get cleaned up here. Look for Scar to make a big play. Looking to see if anyone's going to be pushing around B, but instead opting to go back and go after A, because knowing, you know what, we probably don't need to go after C here, because, or go after A, because it's not necessary. We could just go and get the infirmary and let the isolation cells at B just go to MYM and just continue to trade that way. But it seems instead they have other plans here, as I is going to move in and get C. This is going to be that opportunity that they needed to close this game out, Benson. I wonder if we're going to see a large deficit lead in favor of I.
Well, that's going to be the question. Looking at the kills, column 65 for MYM, 63 for Eyeballers. So it just shows you these two slaying each other on pretty much a very even playing field right now. It really is. And the flags, once again, being neutralized. A is going to fall to MYM. B currently being contested. Who is going to get that? It's going to stay contested, actually, for now, so that's just going to keep things even more even. But Eyeballers have a very small lead, only 40-point lead now, 84 to around about 47 at this point. And you have to be favoring Eyeballers right now.
No, Eyeballers without a doubt. I mean, they're looking great. They started off the game great, too. And I like what Zanks is doing here. Anyone who crosses over, he's going to give him call-outs, but he gets picked off, and he gets identified there by Punch Rule. And this could be big for them, as they're going to move in and try and see if they can take A. And it seems like MYM, though, they're going to get stopped right away, as Jaeger Daniel and the crew will control that. But while all that commotion was going on by A, they now have C, and they can continue to pad away at this lead. Look for Wafi to go big here, as MYM needs to defend this B isolation cell.
Wafi right now, he is 13 and 10. Just trying to make something happen. He's going to be losing B flag right now, so Wafi does need to just track back and have a look, but he doesn't seem to realize exactly that he is losing that B flag. So,
oh, he knows for sure. He's just not in a great position.
True.
Kind of just got caught in a rock and a hard place there, or back against the wall, literally. So that's going to be unfortunate. But instead, I like what Punch Rule's doing here, just destroying the walls, giving him that opportunity to go through and push forward. So it seems like we got you guys voting on Twitter, letting us know who you think's going to take this. And as the game begins to close out, I'm curious to see where the fans have their allegiance lying. I think MYM has a couple of fans out there, but Eyeballers, who knows, man? We're going to see in just a bit.
Such a close game. I mean, oh, wow.
Ooh,
look at
Eyeballers.
that. 71 to 29. Eyeballers really coming in as top trumps with the fans at home. But right now, MYM do have 2 flags, A and C, under their control.
That's right.
So they are reducing the deficit once again from Eyeballers that they've managed to build up. And if I'm playing for MYM right now, I'm screaming. I'm saying hold this punch up, because if they hold this for a couple of minutes, they could potentially win this game.
They very could, Benson, and that's the crazy part about this, right? Like or win the half. But again, it's like it's so close between these two teams. Ducky Chan able to pick up 1 kill there. There are going to be a couple players over by the right side looking by the infirmary, finding one. He's going to get plugged right away, as Eyeballers will only have Waffy and Punch Rule left alive. They're going to go after B. They end up losing A. Waffy knew this and managing to find one.
Smart play.
Yeah, very smart play. Not getting aggressive. He's going to give his teammates an opportunity to spawn on him. Maybe Safe will spawn on him so that they can move in.
They need to make a play now, though, because they are getting very dangerously close to
flipping B. They're flipping B.
They are flipping B, and that's a good play from them. But they want to try and reduce this Eyeballer lead. It's currently at 49 tickets. A is going to be taken away from them. They're going for the trip cap. MYM in the last couple of seconds really stepping it up. They already have A neutral. They are going to lose C, though. Is there anyone from MYM that can go big on the C flag? That's going to be the question. No, there is not. They're going to have to give that one away for free, but they are reducing that deficit, and that's what counts. Now, hold on to that B flag. Someone needs to go big for MYM.
Yeah, well, this right here, you're going to see is Flax able to find one. There's going to be 1 player inside of B. They don't have much time to work with here, as they are going to be able to reclaim it back. Another one going to be in the corner, but they are going to get B right back for them. As, again, the bleed is going to happen, as I is going to be in a dangerous position. 1 player is going to be down over by the isolation cells. Let's see how Flax is going to have to deal with this one. Finding one in front. That's going to be shots exchange, and Grossfeld manages to stay alive. I don't know how he did that. Jumping over to Safe now, 21 and 15 for Safe. We were talking about how MYM and this, and I, they don't have big slayers, but Clisset and Safe were saying, yo, bro, you guys are wrong about that. I'm about to go massive for this team. What a close game do we have, Benson?
Such a close game, but Safe, he needs to go big on this B flag. He can't afford to waste much time. He waited for Flex. B is being taken once again by MYM. It's 11 to 23. It looks like they are going to be able to cap that flag once again. C is still under MYM control as they hit 10 tickets. This is going to be dangerously close as we reach the final seconds. They're going for a trip cap again. MYM really just going balls deep right now. They are not wasting any time.
But there is going to be 1 player there, and they might relinquish B, but they do win it back. And it seems like they are going to go after A again and get this trip cap. I mean, you hear the music. It's in the background. Everyone's like, it's done. It's over. But yeah, for some odd reason, MYM just refuses to say die, as you're going to have 8 tickets remaining for 1, 11 tickets remaining for I. And it seems like we could have a very, very uncomfortably close game.
My days. This is getting ridiculous right at the very end of this game. 8 to 7, 8 to 6. Eyeballers, they were in the lead for the majority of this game, but just as we approach the final end, it doesn't look like they can be able to do anything but Eyeballers. They've jumped on that B flag. They are desperate to try and win it. They only have 2 tickets left. Meanwhile, MYM, they've jumped on the C flag, and Golden Boy, that is going to do it. A 6-ticket game. Wow.
Well, if you're Eyeballers, you're thinking, that's fine.
What the hell just happened?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, what the hell just happened is a very appropriate way to put it. But you're thinking that's fine. We have another side to work with here. And honestly, 6-ticket differential, that is nothing. That is nothing in this matchup. So honestly, at this point, the way that I see it, we're going into a completely other game of Operation Locker. Now, taking a look at the stats here, you have Flax 20 and 7, 21 and 15, 20 and 8, 16, 15. I mean, really just great statistics here. Clisset on the other side there for Eyeballers. Going big in the slaying department. Scar, big objective plays out of him as well. My goodness, what an amazing game that was.
You look at how close the first game of the day was. A 5-ticket game. Last game of the day, first match, 6-ticket game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. MYM.
I love this game.
I really do love this game as well. It just moments like that, man, when you see the tickets just continuing to drop down, just make it that much more amazing to watch. So we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna wait for this game to start up here, because ain't no time being wasted here, guys. We're going straight to it. Ain't no commercial breaks, no commercials, no mercy. If you're an Anchorman fan, you know what I'm talking about. But 6-ticket lead.
What a game.
That's
MYM,
nothing. That's nothing at this point.
That is actually, that is what? A trip cap for 3 seconds?
Yeah, that's nothing.
Not even that. I mean, this game is just so close. It really is, and that just shows you at this level just how truly good both these 2 competitive teams are. And this group has just been so tough all day long that it is only fitting, really, that it comes down to a game like this where, I mean, we could see the possibility of 2 3-way ties a two-way tie. I mean, there's so many tie possibilities, and again, that just enforces just how close this game actually is.
Even with XTS, you know, surprising Epsilon on the other side there. We're going to get results and keep you guys up to date on what's going down there because obviously I think it would have made sense if we would have hopped into that one, but they weren't playing. So it was nothing for us actually report on. So now it seems like the action's going to begin. Are you guys ready for the next half here between these two teams? And it seems like the players aren't, though, which is, you know, kind of a bum. You know, it kind of sucks, but, you know, it's okay. And my goodness, what a game that was. So it seems like we don't have all the players ready to set this one up. Admin will get on that to resolve it. But, yeah, goodness gracious. That was great.
It was definitely great. It was insane is what it was. It's going all the way down to the last couple of seconds.
I think what's clutch to point out there is how at the last, like, couple of tickets remaining there for MYM, they somehow managed to force a trip cap.
Yeah.
Like, and hold the trip cap, too, which is the crazier part about it. I mean, you have, like, 10 tickets remaining, like 11 tickets remaining. They have 25, and you get a trip cap, and you hold it. That is gutsy. That's gutsy.
That's just the refusal to lose, is what that is. Too many teams were in that situation would think, all right, don't worry about it. We've got a second half. It's only 11 points. We're no big deal, no big deal. But they're like, not a chance. Trip cap. Thank you very much. We'll take the 6-point lead.
That's right. And now we are at this point where it is anyone's game here at this point. Again, we don't know. I mean, honestly, there's no way to point out. There's no one way to say, like, how this can go. But if there are players that I'm going to be looking out for, more importantly in this game, let's see here. I mean, well, for one, I'm looking for another big performance out of Clisset again.
Yep.
Right? I'm looking for him to go big, but he is going to need someone else from I to go huge with him as well. On the other side here, looking at Flax. Flax is great position play, giving his teammates the opportunity to have the correct spawns and whatnot, spawning on him.
Yep.
I think that's going to be such a huge factor going into this next matchup. We'll see. I mean, honestly, it's kind of nuts.
It's very nuts. I mean, we were talking
and you're
about
allergic to nuts.
Exactly. So it's crazy.
So you can't even cast this right now.
I know. Oof. I'm just mind blown by the way that this could go. I mean,
yeah, the
Fnatic guys were like, eyeballs are definitely going to win this game. Eyeballs are definitely going to win this game, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
And then MYM just come out and produce a performance like that in the first side. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. I mean, for MYM to do that shows that loss that they had against Epsilon at the beginning of the day, that didn't rattle them. That didn't affect them. Yeah, because they took it. They took it to XTS.
Oh, yeah.
They took it to them. And I mean, like, the way that they did it, it was a landslide victory. Their position game was just on the money. So I don't know, man. Like, looking here at the way that MYM played that last one, because Operation Locker, it is also about positioning. That's where, you know, I think players like, you know, Flax kind of comes into play, right? But it is really much about just, like, getting in there, being aggressive, too. So, you know, winning those gun battles when they're necessary. I mean, it's crazy when both sides are winning the key gun battles, and then you get it down to, like, those last couple of tickets.
Just makes it awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
That's esports.
That's esports, and that's why I love it. Of course, taking a look here at the production area. These are the guys who are making it work, working very hard here at Dreamhack to put on an amazing show for you guys. And, of course, the beautiful view of light. The sea of light, if you will.
The sea of light. Really?
It is just a sea of light.
No, that's a quarter of the sea of light.
Yep.
It's still.
Yeah, that is. That
is.
is.
The holes that you guys can't see. That just shows you the size of Dreamhack here. They don't mess around.
We haven't even been able to, like, enjoy it.
Yeah, we've been like pinned down.
We've been here living inside of the Battlefield 4 booth.
Stuck.
So it seems like we have all 5 players in the game. So we're just waiting for the admin to restart the server any second now. All right, Ben, I got to get your prediction. Who's going to take this game? Who's going to take it? Go ahead. Who's going to take it?
No. I'm more interested to see what the guys at home think going to take. I mean, they've been rooting for Eyeballers pretty heavily with the voting.
What's going on Twitch?
On Twitch?
Oh, you close
it. I can open it up if you really want.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what are people talking about on Twitch? I mean, I'm curious.
Let's have a look.
It's always a good thing to see what you guys are talking about out there. Besides, you know, obviously
they're probably talking about how close that game was.
Yeah, honestly, I would be going nuts still. That was a great game.
All right, let's have a look what you guys are up to. I think the server has actually just been reset, has it not?
Yeah, the server was reset. I think this is the reset. This is the live one. So we're going to be kicking it off in just a little bit here. I mean, this is it. It's going to happen. Game 2. I hope we go to Game 3. I really, really, really want to go to Game 3. Like,
that would make it even more interesting because then if a team actually loses a map, that opens up the tiebreaker to be a little bit different.
That's true.
Same with Epsilon, though. If Epsilon lose that first map, which we'll try and get word on that, because I'm really interested in following what's going on in that map as well. That opens up so many different elements to this tiebreaker.
Really
it's gonna be crazy.
All right, well, let's go into the action here and also see what's going on in the voting department as well. What do you guys think of that last game? Who have you been voting for? Instructions on how to do so appear on the screen in front of your eyes. And the match is about to begin in a couple seconds here. And it seems like right now we got some pushback from MYM. That's nice.
I like it. 45.
That's nice.
45% to 55. You guys getting behind your teams.
Look at this here. So we have a three-man push actually making their way out towards C. One man on the side here for MYM. Ducky Chan's going to be by himself. Let's actually go ahead and give some love to Ducky. Let's see what he's going to do here as we go ahead bring up the squads now and see what the deal is.
Let's not forget the fragile 6-point lead.
Only
MYM are going in.
Exactly.
It's pretty much non-existent.
Yeah,
but it's still
it really is.
Then again, if the game goes as close as that, again, that 6-point lead could be the difference between winning and losing.
That is true. That is true.
I'm just saying.
So
think about all these different things, Golden Boy.
If I go below 6 tickets at any point in time in this game, then that is it. It's GG. It's over. There you have it. They have to go below 6 tickets. So we have a very, very long game ahead of us, folks.
That is for sure. We're not going to have one of those 3-minute games where everyone's like, oh, where's the rest of the gameplay? This is going to go right to the wire. As Eyeballers, they've already kicked things off quite strong with B and C. However, MYM, they were playing tune. They're going to try and go for the trip cap straight away.
My goodness, I can't believe MYM just moving in on them. And it seems like Grossfall here is just going to hang out and wait for his teammates to make their way in. Looking around the side, over by the counter there. Nothing's going to be around that as they are going to go and cap A on the infirmary. So this is going to be their chance to stop that trip cap, stop those points from accumulating here. Finding one player on the left side, going for the hip fire. Grossfall not able to do it. Scar is going to be the last person left alive here as he's going to be working his way over by C. And look at that here. Look at the spread. Let's actually bring this up here real fast and you can see what is going on. Ducky Chan, oh, they had a good spread there for a second, but it seemed like MYM ended up getting pincered, evidently.
Nice play coming from the Eyeballers lineup. I'm just looking at the overhead right now, seeing what is what in terms of the flags. MYM, well, they don't have a single flag right now. 2 flags being neutralized. And you have to give Eyeballers a lot of credit. They have A, they locked down B. That Charlie flag obviously still under contention, but MYM, they've tried to reply. They've hopped on the A flag. They've managed to grab C as well for their own. And back and forth already, straight off the bat. It looks like these guys are continuing from exactly where they left off.
This is why I love Operation Locker, because you can have some insanely good games.
Easily the best.
Great double kill there by a punch roll, by the way. Unfortunately cleaned up by a grenade. Let's go ahead and give some more love to the MYM crew and see what's going on with them. They do have C control. Ducky Chan's going to be navigating his way around here. They lost the inside completely, so that means spawning is going to happen all on the outside because they have no one indoors at this point in time. Ducky Chan's going to be the one on the attack. Let's see here. He's going to find anyone. One of those blue Doritos on the opposite side, left side of the wall here. And
I like that.
Yeah, you know, just
blow the hole in the wall.
Little micro evolution for you. You know, get that PR up in there. But now looking as it's going to be 169 to 160. You have an 8-point lead here in the favor of MYM. Tack on that 6 as well, and MYM is looking pretty solid. But still, though, seems like they had A and B, but now we have I that is actually going to be losing B, and it will be flipped. I wonder how they're going to respond here as we jump on board with I's Clisset.
Yeah, back and forth. Clisset currently 7-2, having a great game for Eyeballers. And that's what it's going to take to separate these two teams. Individuals are going to need to go huge, and they're going to need to go huge at the right time. Because once again, you look at the kill column for both these two teams. I mean, 19 and 21, inseparable. Yep. I mean, throughout all of today, we've seen teams that out-frag their opponents by a massive amount and win by huge chunks of time. Whereas right now, it's 156 to 159. There's a small 6-point lead in MYM, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, MYM is hanging by a thread here, but both teams are actually hanging by a thread, as it is going to be a very close one. As every single time it looked like Eyeballers were going to be able to close out that gap. MYM is able to cap one back, and then they're able to continue on holding on to that lead. But like you kept on saying, and it's very true, fragile. That is the word you have to keep in mind here, as B was going to be contested, still is being contested as a matter of fact, but they are going to be able to go back here and pick it up.
I like that play.
It was neutralized. Yeah, good play out of Clisset.
Should be able to actually pick that flag up as well. There it is. And that is going to be Eyeballers with both A and B. They're going for the trip.
No, they're not.
That's MYM on the C flag. Yep. they've managed to pick that up. They're just trying to keep themselves close, as it was just a tied game momentarily ago. Eyeballers, remember, they cannot drop below 6 points, and if the game stays like this, well, it's definitely going to be a close one.
Yeah, well, right now, the way it stands, if one more point, and that's pretty much going to do it. I mean, theoretically, it's all tied up right now. But a great stop there out of Scar. Eyeballers keeping alive here. Might go for the double kill, seeing if he can secure that one. Moving in, able to get him. That's going to be a good stop. Domination defense, getting all those points there. Another player, 2 actually. Red Doritos pushing in. It's going to be Flax, and he can't do anything about that. A Scar is going to get picked. It might be wide open. Might be wide open. Let's actually see how this is going to work out. So, yeah, it seems like A is wide open for the picking. There's only one player there. It is going to be Clisset. Let's see what he does.
Well, just having a look at Clisset. He needs to go big for his team, putting a few shots down, connects with 1 kill. That was on safe. Nice plays coming from him. But again, you know, you look at the flags at the top of your map and they're consistently flashing all the time, always being contested. And right now you can see that B flag neutral. That's going to go in favor of MYM. So MYM now trying to get the bleed on.
Little update for you guys on the floor there. XTS managed to defeat Epsilon, if I read that correctly. So they are going to be up 1-0 in their series. While on this side here, we're not done with this matchup just yet, but that is just a crazy thought to be had there. But back to the action, got to talk about the fact that Eyeballers, they are leading this game, even with the 6 points that MYM has from that last one. Eyeballers, they're leading, and now it's starting to close out little by little.
Yeah, only just. It's going to be Eyeball Scar, who's actually on the C flag. He's going to try and grab that for himself. As you say, uncontested, but the A flag, MYM, they've taken that opportunity to dive on that. And I think they're going to get that neutralized. I'm trying to figure out who exactly that is on the MYM team.
Man, almost saw something dirty. That would have been awesome.
Almost?
Almost. Close, but no cigar.
Okay. All right. Well, B flag, that's going to be being taken by the Eyeballers team. And, you know, you maybe sat at home thinking this is so back and forth. Well, to cut it short, it is back and forth. You've seen teams just diving on those flags, and that's just the quality from both these two teams, you know, picking up those important kills when they need to, as this time it's going to be Eyeballers with the B and C flag combination.
All right, yeah, and, you know, having B and C, I mean, if you cover B and C, you're going to be, if you look where Clisset is, right, he's going to have 2 players here spawning. So B and C, that's actually going to force the other team to spawn back here. As you can see, they're out going after it, and now Scar is going to be fighting by himself over there by B. That's not really going to help him out all that much. B and A are going to go over to MYM as they're going to continue to fight their way through here. Seems like Wafi was going to go for that double kill. That's not going to happen, as you have 3 members here of Eyeballers actually pushing through, and 1 person left alive is going to be Ducky Chan. Let's hop on board with him, see how he can defend A by himself.
Ducky Chan needs to go big for his team. He's putting down some free fire. You know Scar's going to be around the corner, throws the grenades as well. Just desperately trying to get a line of sight or some vision. He knows that A flag is being taken. There's going to be plays around there. Ducky Chan waiting for some team support. He doesn't want to just go in there blind by himself, so that was a smart decision to rotate around. Meanwhile, his teammates are picking up C, so that really does explain why he didn't push A. Picks up the frag there on Daniel. Is it going to be anyone else? Again, the pre-fire around the corner, just taking his time. And it looks like now MYM are going to be able to jump on that A flag and pick it up.
Yeah, that's right here, Benson, and it seems like they are going to be able to make a trip cap happen. So MYM answering right back here. The game is so close, Ben. 99 to 101, a 2-ticket lead, and B and C are both being contested right now. It seems as if Eyeballers are going to be able to get C without a problem, but now look at this 1 member here, Flax. He's going to push out. He ends up finding 1 member of Eyeballers. I mean, goodness gracious, the way that they're playing this one, Flax is just, you know, again, that positioning play that you're seeing out of him, not getting reckless. You can see a lot of players that are going to push there and get overzealous and try and cap C by themselves, thinking they're Rambo. Not the case here. I got to give Flax credit in regards to that, but they are losing A right now. Let's see how MYM is going to respond.
Just having a look at the scoreboard, Golden Boy. Clisset 18-7. That's a huge score. Wafi 15-3 for MYM. I mean, these 2 players, we both said it's going to take an individual from each team to go big, and that is exactly what's happening right now. You know, Wafi going big for MYM. Again, you have to give Clisset some big credit for Eyeballers, and the flags are once again just being switched up. A and B now being held by MYM, and that's going to stop the bleed. That's all they need to do right now.
Yep, that's right, and let's see here what's going to happen as Ducky Chan waiting around. Looking to see, he's going to find 1 person over in the mid-tunnel there, not able to connect with anything on that one. Punch rule, he's going to get cleaned up too. Now MYM,
they are like just flies.
Yeah, they're getting taken out. There's only going to be 2 members left alive here for MYM defending A. And it seems like they are going to get cleaned up here, so that is going to open up A and B. And Ben, we have a 42-ticket lead right now for MYM, but that could go away in a heartbeat if they're not careful. Yeah, well, actually, it's a 32, but needless to say, still the same.
Yeah, they need to be very, very careful right now because Eyeballs are definitely a team that if they do make a mistake, Eyeballs will take full advantage of it.
That's right.
And you can see that's exactly what they're going to try and do now. Try and push the trip cap. MYM,
goodness.
They're pushing C. They need to grab that C flag very quickly, but Eyeballers, they know that's going to happen. They've tried to send some people outside. I believe it's actually going to be Rossville to try and cover it, and the flag's going to be neutral. Meanwhile, B should actually be capped. I believe that's going to be
That's going to be a trip cap. That will be a trip cap.
It's a trip cap for Eyeballers. They were pie and tune.
Let's see if Zenx is going to be able to stay alive here by himself and defend this area. Defend B. He's going to have shots all over the place, able to come up from the cover and find one. You can see actually a couple red Doritos there, Benson. This is insane, man.
This is absolutely.
I see you wiping your head.
This is back and forth. Oh my God, just following this is becoming extremely difficult. Both these two teams going big. We got some voting results as well to show you guys from what you guys have been voting on. I mean, to pull these two teams apart is honestly good, pretty impossible. It's one of the closest games I think we've seen all weekend. If you haven't voted already, you are doing it wrong. Exclamation mark MYM, exclamation YI. That will bring up the click to tweet links that you guys can just tweet on it. Oh my God, look at that. 52 to 48%.
Oh my
We
goodness.
haven't had a closer one yet. Eyeballs have just edged into the lead in terms of the voting, but in terms of the game, A is going to be held by Eyeballers, C by MYM, and we're going to need to see some big plays now coming in, because let's not forget, if Eyeballers drop below 6 points, they will lose.
Period, and that will wrap it up there, but they are going to go after C, so it seems like they will get C. They do have position control outside of it. There's going to be one player in front of him. Quisit's able to clean him up, but he is going to trade on that one. A and C going to Eyeballers here. And it's going to be only, oh my goodness, what a great grenade there that closes that one out. And they are losing C, so now Eyeballers got to move in and get B right away, which is exactly what is going on. Is anyone going to be in the vicinity? There's going to be one. It's going to be Zenx. He gets taken out there. There's going to be another one for Eyeballers. It's going to be Rossval. He gets picked up too. And now Eyeballers, they're losing their soldiers. It's going to be 5 down. Last person left alive is going to be Scar. Zenx is going to be on the respawn as well. And they are going to be losing A. That's going to be a devastating trip cap for Eyeballers if they end up losing this now, that they have to move in quickly. As Zenx, he gets cleaned up top. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that they ended up getting trip cap like that out of nowhere.
That's just MYM taking full advantage. You know, they got 3 down, then they made it 5 down, and Scar off spawn just wasn't able to do that much. B is still neutral. MYM, they are going to get taken off that flag. So Eyeballs are going to stop that trip cap for now. It looks like they're going to try and push towards the A flag as well. MYM, they need to adapt to this. You know, if A's going to go, jump on B, try and cause a bit of a ruckus, because you do not want MYM in the, you do not want Eyeballs in the position of having 2 flags, because that's going to reduce the lead you just worked so hard to get. I mean, 42 to 29, it's going to go all the way down to the wire again.
Scar is going to be key to them here. He's hanging on the back. He has to give his teammates good spawn so that they can rush in and get beat.
God.
He has to stay alive a little bit, but he gets cleaned up. Hopping over to kiss it here. Let's see what he's going to do. Looking around the side, getting hit with that as well. Nades flying all over the place. Somehow, Quisit's managing to stay alive. He gets washed as well. Grossville here, waiting around. Let's see if he can make his way through. 22 tickets to 38 tickets. Such a close game here, guys. Oh my goodness.
MYM managed to hold a trip cap there just for a couple of seconds. C-Flag should go back to Eyeballers, but every trip cap counts now, as it's just going to be 10 tickets remaining for this Eyeballer team before they lose the first in the series. B is being taken by Eyeballers though, so expect MYM to try and respond as quickly as possible. B should be taking its neutral right now. They've done well defending C. Desperately trying to cling on. 6 tickets left, Golden Boy. 5 tickets left before we have a tied game.
This is not going to be good here. I mean, oh goodness. Well, actually, if they go below 6, this is pretty much going to do it here.
They've held it. They've held the A and C. This is the spawn trap they want. That B flag spawn trap we've seen all weekend long. I've been preaching about it. It's so lethal, and this now is going to give Eyeballers a chance. They are just 3 tickets away from a tied game. This is stupidly close. They're about to lose A flag though.
Zinx needs to go in here and go massive. If he can secure this, this will be a big win for them. Finding one in the corner. There's going to be 8 tickets moving around the side. Looking through, he's going to find one inside of the tunnel. There's going to be 7 players remaining. You can't respawn, buddy. You can't respawn. You have to stay dead if you die, or you have to get res. That's the only way that you can fight back here, guys. One ticket remaining is hanging in the balance, and they have a 2-cap. They're forcing them on the outside, making them come to them, feeding them into the bullets here. Jaeger Daniels got to go massive here. He gets washed up. That's going to be huge, as there's only going to be 7 tickets remaining. And
they're losing C.
They're losing C.
They're losing C as well. Players getting dropped left, right, and center. It's going to be Scar and Roosevelt up momentarily. Flags being taken from everywhere.
Oh,
7 to 12. This is so close. This is stupid. It's a tie game right now.
Guys.
Flags being taken everywhere. That should do it.
That's
oh my God! Did you hear them scream?
Yes, I just heard the MYM guys screaming on the other side.
God, MYM and letting them know about it. Woo. Oh wow, wow, wow!
Are you kidding me? Like 12 tickets? Is that real life? That's insane.
That is real life. That is very much real life.
Oh wow! What a matchup!
Wow,
that was amazing. That was so good. Sometimes
can we just replay that again?
There's very rare moments where you can just go back and say, I would watch that over and over and over again. And that is that game.
That was crazy close.
That was just game 1. That's insane. Well, big shout outs to Clisset for Eyeballers as well as Scar. I mean, when you're talking about a 12 ticket differential, a 6 ticket differential, we're talking, I mean, just
that's crazy.
Just minor errors, and not even errors when you think about it, just MYM going big when it was necessary. And you know, you had mentioned, you're like, usually you see the team that outslays, they're the team that actually, you know, wins, but yet MYM, they won and they didn't outslay, they outpositioned their opponent. Anyway,
craziness,
madness. So guys, we're gonna jump to a quick break. When we come back, we are gonna have game 2, and it's gonna happen right away, so you're not gonna want to go anywhere because it's gonna be awesome. We'll see you in just a bit.